to Let's Go Racing. I'm Dani Gibson here with Dick Jerardi, and we are coming to you on NBC Sports Philadelphia on today's show. It's been 20 years since Smarty Jones took us on that magical run. Today we begin a 5-part series on Smarty. Plus we take a look at fan favorite horse at Park's Twisted Ride. We head to Monmouth Park for a couple of exciting races. These stories and much more on today's show. We have a great show for you today. And there was racing here at Parx on Father's Day.
There was a rare Sunday day here. That's the only one all year, Sunday, Father's Day. Can't have a lot of good racing.
Well, and it was crowded. It was so cool to see all the dads here with their kids. The rail was lined. Lots of good spreads out in the picnic area as well. I almost tried to get a free lunch here and there, but I felt funny.
You didn't just grab people's
no,
food?
But some looked really good. I was like, I was tempted. I'm not going to lie.
About it.
Well, let's get into that racing Sunday. We're going to take a look at Sunday's 7th race, and a thriller it was. It's for fillies and mares going in mile and 70 yards. Big purse here. They're running for $50,000. And our favorite is on the back for John Kirby, Kiss Me Hardy.
Yeah, Kiss Me Hardy just comes off a 3-length win, was claimed from that race by one John from another, John Kirby from John's Service. My pick here, Miss Shemitah, unfortunately was scratched. This was Park's picks, but a really strong race with a couple of Jamie Ness horses, and he does win some races here at Park's.
Oh, he certainly does. Here's our local race of the week. It was Sunday's 7th race.
Divine Grace Bossiness continues to track in second. Kiss Me Hardy, she's in third, moving a little bit closer to the inside. Girl from Outer Space and Magnificent Pearl is fifth, but only about 5 lengths covers this field, tip to tail, closely bunched up as they head down the backstretch. Divine Grace Bossiness moving up a little bit closer, putting the pressure on. Kiss Me Hardy, she's in third. Then it's Girl from Outer Space and still Magnificent Pearl, 48-2 for the half. Now they head into the far turn. Divine Grace Bossiness coming up to confront her. Those two putting some daylight between themselves and the rest of the field. They go through the far turn. On the inside, Divine Grace hanging tough. Bossiness looms to her outside. Kiss Me Hardy's in third. Magnificent Pearl, she's now up to fourth. And Girl from Outer Space, she's now fifth and last. Around the far turn they go. On the inside, Divine Grace with that big blaze. On the outside, Bossiness can't quite get by her just yet. Those two just noses apart. Kiss Me Hardy trying to gain. She's in third. On the outside, Bossiness sticks her nose in front. Divine Grace counters down the outside. Kiss Me Hardy, she's now in the clear and making up some ground. Divine Grace running a very big race with a 16th left to go. Anyone's race at this point. Bossiness down the outside. Kiss Me Hardy with a final try. 3 across the track.
Well, Divine Grace gets the win, but what a finish that was.
It was like our version of the Kentucky Derby, right? The 3-horse photo. You had the Ness horses kind of, not really dueling, but like next to each other for much of the race. And then here comes Kiss Me Hardy at the end, and Bossy Ness is trying to come back in the middle of them. And as you said, Divine Grace holds on to win by nose.
Yeah, let's give some credit to apprentice jockey Francisco Martinez on Kiss Me Hardy. He is really picking up some steam. He just had his first win up in New York at Belmont at Aqueduct. I know he's really thrilled. He grew up in horse racing, and it's cool to see someone live out their dream, even if he's not super young, because he's not 19. He's a little bit older than that, and it's been a lot of fun to watch.
He's a real talent. You can see he's good. Horses run for him.
Oh, absolutely. Well, it's time for us to take a quick break, but on the other side, it's the 20th anniversary of the incredible run by Smarty Jones in the Triple Crown, and we're also going to head to Monmouth Park for some thrilling finishes, all coming up on the other side.
Mo Visitor looking for the upset, takes the lead. Coastal Mission fight.
The question a lot of people are asking themselves these days is, do I buy new or do I buy pre-owned? Here's what I'll tell you. New car inventories are still low and new car prices are still high. However, with the certified pre-owned Nissan at Chapman Nissan, we have a huge selection and you can save thousands over new. Plus a 7-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty, roadside assistance, 1-year prepaid maintenance, and so much more. And not for nothing. Can you really tell the difference? I can't.
The Excite Center at Parx Casino, the region's hottest live entertainment venue. Check out your favorite concerts, comedy, boxing, MMA, all at the #1 casino in Pennsylvania. Don't miss Cameron Marlowe on Friday, July 26th, plus platinum country artist Dylan Scott on Saturday, August 10th. Don't miss these 2 exciting headliners, only at the Excite Center inside Parx Casino. Parx Casino, this is how you win. This is how you win. Tickets on sale now.
Welcome back to Let's Go Racing. Well, when we talk about Smarty Jones, the word magical is used, and that's what it was. It was a magical time.
Yeah, it surely was. One of the great stories I ever covered in my 33 years at the paper. I mean, just didn't want it to end. It was so cool. And You know, we've been trying to get Smarty Jones in the Hall of Fame. There's a big campaign now that it's his 20th year. For the people that don't know, here's how this works. There's a 12-person committee to get to the voters, and there's 177 voters, of which I'm one of them. You got to get 8 votes to get to the voters. Smarty's never gotten, my understanding, and I know some of the committee members, more than 2 or 3. And the reason I kept getting was, well, he just didn't race long enough. Yet, on a filly named Rags to Riches, who ran 7 times versus Smarty's 9 and won 5, her big win was beating Curlin. She's been on the ballot regularly. And this year, Justify, with only 6 lifetime races, did win the Triple Crown, of course. He made the Hall of Fame. So I think that should be moot. It should just be about the accomplishments. Anyway, we got a lot more to talk about, and it's going to be all summer long we're doing it. This is the first of a 5-part series put together by Melanie Wignall, friend of Bruce and mine. Here's part number 1.
We bought his mother, named her I'll Get Along. Smarty was her second foal. He was small.
I wasn't impressed. When he stepped off the van, I was actually there, and they had sent 2 horses. The second horse was actually what I thought was the better looking of the 2 horses. I thought right away, oh, that must be Smarty Jones, and I was wrong. It didn't take him long to show us he had some talent. How much he had, we weren't sure yet.
Look at Smarty Jones inside the gate pole, just roaring away.
Second race was the Pennsylvania Nursery Stakes. He won by 15 lengths.
And that was the race that I talked to Mr. and Mrs. Chapman about, possibly maybe putting him on the Derby trail. So his 3rd start was subsequently in the Count Fleet, which was 2 turns.
Smarty Jones will roll home at 2-5.
And he passed with flying colors.
And then my husband said, John, what are we going to do now? And John said, well, I think we're going to go to Arkansas. And my husband said, Arkansas? John, you realize we live in Florida, and there are tracks here in Florida.
And I go, I understand, Chappie, but I think this is the best route. So that's what we did. Ever since I was a kid, my father used to rave about Oaklawn Park. I mean, he loved it there. But I loved the fact that the races extended in distance with every race. You know, the Southwest being a mile, and then the Rebel being a mile and 16th, and the Arkansas Derby being a mile and 8th, leading into the Kentucky Derby at a mile and a quarter, I thought was great. We had a little bit of a rough trip shipping down, going over the mountains of Tennessee. They had an ice storm, and we were delayed on the side of the road for a while. When the Southwest was coming up, I told Mr. and Mrs. Chapman, I said, you know, this might be the first race he loses, because I don't think he's anywhere close to being ready.
Smarty Jones is on the move.
And he looked like a beat horse at the head of the stretch. And he dug in and fought those horses off.
In the middle of the track, Smarty Jones now up to engage. Wildcat Shoes for the lead. Smarty Jones continues undefeated, wins the Southwest by 3/4.
Oh my gosh, these stars are lining up.
And I knew right then, I said, well, that answered the heart question. You know, he definitely has the heart. And, you know, he'll be a lot stronger next time.
And now, Smarty Jones takes command. Smarty Jones in full stride and pulling away. He's 1 step closer to $5 million.
The first time we ever heard the term Smarty Party was when we were racing at Oaklawn Park. If Smarty wins, there will be one huge Smarty Party. Everybody will be celebrating. We had a lot of Smarty parties after that.
Well, there was a little pressure on us going into the Arkansas Derby, because to be eligible for the Derby, the Rebel and the Southwest weren't graded.
So you can imagine when our homebred came along and was winning, he won every race.
It really takes you back to that time. I can't wait to see the rest of this series, and it just invokes so much emotion.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, a lot of Bruce's videos involved in this, and next up, the Arkansas Derby on the way to the Kentucky Derby. And Again, Bob Hutt, the PTHA president, is really spearheading this attempt to get Smarty Jones at least another look by the committee and maybe get him on the ballot where we can actually vote whether Smarty Jones should be in the Hall of Fame. And to get in, you need 50% of the vote, but he's never gotten on the ballot, so we need to get him on the ballot. Here's more with our PTHA president, Bob Hutt.
In winning the Kentucky Derby, he had higher buyers, speed figures, than Triple Crown winners Justified American Pharaoh. In the Preakness, I don't think too many people know this, but he may have run the fastest speed figure on the Ragozin sheets, which the professional handicappers use in all of history. I think it was a -3.5 or something like that. He ran a buyer of 118, which is the highest buyer in the 21st century. No horse has ever run faster. He was also the second undefeated champion to come into the Belmont Stakes. Seattle Slew did that in 1977, and then there was Smarty. And 120,000 fans turned out at Belmont, and millions all over the world watched. But as we all know, they came at Smarty in waves. He ran the fastest third quarter in Belmont Stakes history, which was 22 and change. And unfortunately, he was 1 length, 8 feet, 33 inches from immortality. And he ended his career that day. He left it all on the line, and there was nothing more to give.
Get Smarty in the Hall of Fame. That's our mission this summer.
Yeah, at least get him on the ballot. I'd love to see him get through the committee. We shall see.
Well, let's get to some national races. We're going to head to Monmouth Park. We're talking about the Grade 3 Salvatore Mile. This is for 3-year-olds, $150,000, and we do have a Parx horse, Mo Visitor.
Yeah, Mo Visitor, when he's good for Mariah Montoya, he is really good, Danny. And I thought when I looked at this race, and I texted you, I said, look, this could be the race where he can get loose on the lead, and if he does, he's hard to run down.
Yeah, he's got to contend with the classy Bright Future, Todd Pletcher of Rapoli Stable. Javier Castellano, we don't see him ride too much for Todd Pletcher, but they're out of town.
Yeah, and it's interesting. He hasn't run since the Breeders' Cup Classic, where he's only beaten 3 3/4 lengths by White Barrio. He's got 3 straight 100 buyers. The question is he going to be ready, and is it a mile long enough?
Yeah, well, we'll see. Here's the call of the Salvatore Mile.
Oscar Eclipse, Coastal Mission, turns up the pressure, sticks the head in front, and Oscar Eclipse is in the second position now, sent along. Mo Visitor getting closer, 3 deep. Bright Future has plummeted back to the 6th position while in tight on the rail. He needs to really pick it up. He's 6th, and right now just plodding in place at the top of the lane. Mo Visitor looking for the upset, takes the lead. Coastal Mission fighting very, very tenaciously to the inside. Mo Visitor, Coastal Mission, and now Bright Future finds the right running style to kick on, and Bright Future, look at that. Bright Future, the class prevails.
Well, Bright Future had to call on all his class to get the win. Nothing went his way. He had all kinds of trouble, and he still came up the rail bit. How about Mo Visitor? He got taken out at the start and came with a big run for a nice third.
He really did, Danny. Look, again, I thought he'd be on the lead, and when he didn't break, and he's steadying, and he's wide the whole way with no cover, I'm thinking, all right, it's not going to happen. And then he takes the lead in the stretch. And I know I talked to Kendrick, or he's on his way back to New York, and you talked to Mariah. What did she say about Mo Visitor and what Kendrick told her?
Yeah, well, the longer the better. We're talking about these marathon races. Think of Next, that big gray horse. He's so fast, he gets to the lead. Horses get tired of chasing him, and he just gets out comfortable on his own cruising speed.
So the thought might be for Mo Visitor, get him in a race. This is kind of counterintuitive, but a little longer, so the lead gets there easier. But having said that, this was the best race he's ever run. Given the circumstances, can't wait to bet him back, but I did bet him at 21-1 and felt like I got cheated.
That was a hard one. Me and DJ were talking through that race. Well, let's stick at Monmouth Park. More 3-year-olds. This is the Pegasus. This is the prequel of the prep for the Haskell race. $150,000 going that mile and 16th distance. And the Jersey bred is the favorite, C Street.
Yeah, a little surprising that he'd be the 9-5 favorite, Dan. He did win the Long Branch by 7, get a 91 buyer, but the Long Branch does not have the quality this race has with a horse like Tuscan Sky, who was undefeated and was only 5-2 in the Wood Memorial. Didn't run that day, but blinkers on. It is Pletcher, and he does win lots of races.
Oh, yeah. Well, here's the call to Pegasus.
Tuscan Sky down on the rail. He saved ground on the first turn, and he pokes ahead in front. Willie D's shaking up second. Hades hard sent 3 wide. Domestic Product 4 deep. C Streak, not a desirable trip for him, is 5 wide on the course. As they round the fourth turn, Otello still at the back. Willie D's giving way. Hades is done. Tuscan Sky continues to show the way. Domestic Product right there. C Streak trying to overcome the wide trip. He's third, sent along at the top of the lane. Tuscan Sky, the gray comes off the turn, increases the leading margin to 2. Domestic Product second. C Streak is third with a furlong to go. Javier Castellano asking Tuscan Sky to finish.
Well, it was a bizarre race, but Tuscan Sky does get the win. It's not very often you see 5 horses abreast. Otello's just back there in his own world. He could have had it all his own way, and he decided he didn't want to run. But when Paco floated the outside horses even wider than they were, Tuscan Sky kind of utilized that inside position. Javier Castellano with a really smart ride to come up the inside.
Yeah, it really was strange looking on the backstretch when you see 5 of them dueling for the lead. Otello back there by himself. But yeah, Tuscan Sky got the trip on the rail, and he's just probably just the best horse. He had a 99 buyer. Fierceness is looking for the Haskell. Tuscan Sky looking for the Haskell. Hopefully we see one or more of them here in the PA Derby on September 21st.
Music to my ears. We love horses shooting for the PA Derby. Well, it's time for us to head to another break, but you don't want to go anywhere because you're going to meet a star in the Mike Moore barn. Fan favorite Twisted Ride. We have a feature on him when we come back.
Twisted Ride has done all of the heavy lifting with the constant presence of Uncle Ernie right to his flank.
The Excite Center at Parx Casino, the region's hottest live entertainment venue. Check out your favorite concerts, comedy, boxing, MMA, all at the #1 casino in Pennsylvania. Don't miss Funny Man JB Smoove on Saturday, September 14th, plus Straight No Chaser on Friday, October 18th. Don't miss these 2 exciting headliners, only at the Excite Center inside Parx Casino. Parx Casino, this is how you win. This is how you win. Tickets on sale now.
Welcome back to Let's Go Racing. Well, PA breds are a lot of fun, and one that we've had a lot of fun watching is Twisted Ride. He is a homebred for my friends Bob and Sue of KCK Racing Stable, and he started off running long, but now he's sprinting.
He's one of the coolest horses out here, Danny, and he just knows where the wire is. I mean, he's one of those horses, if he's in a fight, he's going to win it. That's just the way it is, and his most recent race here on Belmont Day exemplified it. I got a chance to catch up with his trainer, Michael Moore. Here with trainer Michael Moore. Michael, Twisted Ride is one of the coolest horses here at the racetrack. He wins his races by noses and heads. How does he do it?
You know, he's real game. He's a tough horse. You know, if you're going to give him a chance to win, he's going to try to beat you. That's for sure. Like, you better beat him to beat him. You know, if you keep it close, he'll beat you. You know.
He's got speed, but he's also got heart. That's a difficult combination to have because a lot of speed horses, when you go after him, that's it. Why is he different?
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, he's a horse that a lot of time you watch his races on the turn, a lot of time will be dueling with another horse, and you think like he might be in trouble, you know, and somehow he keeps going.
Twisted Ride continues to fend off Uncle Ernie, the imposing presence on the outside. Bourbon Music, he's moving up a little bit closer now. Those 3 across the track, they go through the far turn. Twisted Ride has the lead. Uncle Ernie all out in between horses on the outside. Bourbon Music making up some ground.
Various horses take their shots at him, and you know, but he keeps going.
So back on Belmont Stakes Day, a perfect example. Not only is he dueling with a really good horse and Uncle Ernie, your other horse comes up in this stretch. What were you thinking? And I was right near you when you were watching the race.
Well, you know, it was, you know, for us it was a great race. You know, Twisted came back and beat Bourbon Music by, you know, basically a bob, really. But really, what I think may have happened there is that Bourbon Music was probably a couple paths away from him, and then Michael, you know, drifted him down towards Twisted. And that might have made Twisted Ride give a little extra because they were right next to each other.
Well, your rider, Andy, told me exactly that. He says when he came over and hit him, he says that was a mistake.
Yeah, it's exactly right. I mean, I think Bourbon Music probably had him by at least a good head, you know, deep in the stretch, and then he came back in, and like I said, he did like kind of win the bob right at the wire.
And how much fun is that to have the more exacta?
Yeah, that's great. I mean, you really can't lose. Obviously, one owner's a little happier than the other, but both were happy that, you know, both of them ran real well.
Of all the horses you've ever had, Michael, this is the one that's earned the second most money. How much longer can he go? How much more does he have? He looks like he's in great form.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with you. I mean, he's only 5. You know, he's made about 566,000. You know, he's my second leading all time at like 466. But yeah, I mean, he's only 5. He's a PA bred, so you would think he'll go by my other horse, pretty soon.
Michael, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Dick.
Twisty, as Bob and Sue call him, and Sue actually sent me a video of him playing with his jolly ball after his big win last time. It took nothing out of him, and he's just a fun, free-spirited horse that loves to run.
Yeah, he does. Last 5 wins, Danny, by a nose, a half, a nose, a head, and a nose. That's a horse that knows how to get there first, and I got a chance to write about Twisted right on Let'sGoRacingParks.com.
Yeah, I love the story. Well, it's time for us to turn our attention to our Jockey of the Week. Our Jockey of the Week is apprentice jockey Matilda Burnham. She rode so close so far to an 8 1/4 length victory at Parx to get her first win at the Parx Oval for owners and breeders Uptown Charlie Brown stud. Congratulations to Matilda Burnham on being our Jockey of the Week, sponsored by NovaCare, the power of physical therapy. Now it's time for this week's Trainer of the Week, sponsored by the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. Our Trainer of the Week is Mike Pino. He had an incredible 3-win Tuesday at Parx Racing and also 3 seconds for a great race week. Congratulations to Mike Pino on being the Trainer of the Week. The PTHA proudly partners with the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. We have another Turning for Home family photo to share with you. Accordance, he's a California bred. He fox hunts, he events, he does it all. He loves hanging with his friends in the field playing halter tag. That's where the horses kind of grab each other's halter. Sometimes they get ripped off, and his owner Andrea said she uses a lot of halters and fly miss that way in the field.
Yeah, it's fascinating, Danny. Whenever I read or hear something where somebody says, well, wait a second, we don't really know how to deal with this aftercare, people just can't get it right, just come here to Parx. Nobody does it better, and Danielle Montgomery is just awesome at what she does.
Yeah, we're so proud of our Turning for Home program. Well, let's get to Best of the Rest. We head up to New York. This is the Grade 2 Bed of Roses. 7 furlongs for the fillies and mares, $200,000. And Morning Matcha, she gets wiped out at the start.
Yeah, just completely eliminated. Morning Matcha missed the break. Steadies had no room to run the whole stretch. She's way better than this. Forget the 7th place finish. The seed for Chad Brown's been there the whole way and is going to hold on by a neck. And Chad Brown and is going to win another stakes race. But yeah, Morning Matcha just absolutely put a line through that. She'd come back. She could beat this field the next time.
Oh, she could. She only lost by 4.5 lengths. That is nothing.
Nothing went right.
Tuesday's 3rd race was our PTHA Trophy race for fillies and mares, going 6 furlongs for maidens with the $10,000 claiming tag. The favorite delivered. Summers at the Shore. She pulled away in the stretch with jockey Luisa Casio to a 9 1/4 length victory to win this week's PTHA Trophy race. Here's more with the winning trainer. Here with our winning trainer, Lou Linder. Summers at the Shore. She's kind of perfectly named for her win today. A lot of seconds. Tell me what you think led to the big win today.
I think just weeding out the other horses and finding a bunch she can hang with. That helps.
What do you see next for her?
She got claimed, so an empty stall.
There you go, part of the business. Well, good luck and enjoy your win. Well, it's time for Eye on Racing, and who wants some more? Uncle Heavy is going to be in the Ohio Derby today at Thistledown.
$500,000 for the 3-year-olds. Uncle Heavy ran 6th in the Preakness, beating 13. I know they weren't happy. They said, let's find a little lesser competition. Well, this is not going to be easy. Deposition with Uriah's going also came back, won a nice optional claimer at Delaware Park. Catching Freedom is in here, and we know how good he is. 3rd in the Preakness, 4th in the Derby. He'll be the favorite. And batting down for Bill Modest, the hot horse. This is a full to Tacitus by Tappet out of Close Hatches. You remember Close Hatches? She won the Cotillion here in 2013. So not an easy spot for Uncle Heavy, but you know what? Go for the money, and Michael Sanchez has the ride back. Glad to see Michael back on Uncle Heavy.
Yeah, and I saw him getting on the van. He looks great, and he's feeling confident. We're rooting for you, Uncle Heavy and Deposition, in today's Ohio Derby.
And another good one down in Churchill, down 7/8 today in the Chicago. We're going for $250,000. Society, remember her? She won the Cotillion here in 2023, or 2022, excuse me, going against Vava, who might be the best female sprinter in the country. That's going to be a race at Churchill as they finish up their meet.
And what a year trainer Cherie DeVoe is having. It's been a lot of fun to see a woman trainer be so successful. Well, it's time for us to head to our final break, but stick around because we are going to set you up for Monday. We have 2 PA bred stakes. You don't want to miss it. All coming up.
The Excite Center at Parx Casino, the region's hottest live entertainment venue. Check out your favorite concerts, comedy, boxing, MMA, all at the #1 casino in Pennsylvania. Don't miss the hilarious Steve Trevino on Saturday, November 23rd, plus funny lady Kathleen Madigan on Saturday, December 7th. Don't miss these two exciting headliners, only at the Excite Center inside Parx Casino. Parx Casino, this is how you win. This is how you win. Tickets on sale now.
Well, welcome back, everybody, to Let's Go Racing. We have 2 Pennsylvania bred stakes on Monday here at Parx Racing. Let's start with the Power by Far. This is for fillies and mares, 5 furlongs on the turf. They're going to be flying, and it's the return of our horse of the year.
Yeah, Aoife's Magic will be running on the turf for the first time. Dave DeTola says we're going to take a shot. Now, I thought her last race was terrific, Danny, against Older. I thought she ran really, really well, and she's going to be my pick in here. But I did want to mention Power by Far. This horse won 9 stakes races for Tony Correnti back in the day, 32 lifetime starts, 15 wins, won more than $500,000 back about 25 years ago or so. Power by Far, very cool horse. And you like who here?
Well, I'm going to go with Disco Ebo, the big girl, and we'll see how she does on the turf. But Butch Reed, he always shows up in this PA bred stakes, but I would not be disappointed if Aoife wins.
Yeah, $660,000 in the bank for Disco Ebo. Now, the turf is the question, only 0 for 1, but when she runs, she did really good.
All right, now it's time for 3-year-olds going a little longer, also on the turf, the mile and 16th, the Crowd Pleaser
Yeah,
stakes.
the Crowd Pleaser, people remember him, Danny, 9 lifetime wins. Jonathan Shepard, the great Hall of Famer, trained him for Augustin Stables and George Strawbridge, won over $600,000. And I love that these races are named for old-time, really good PA breds who ran around here, and people will remember them.
Well, you're going to come out and see these PA breds run. We're going to have a great day. Monday, June 24th, right here at Parx, the Crowd Pleaser Stakes, the Power by Far. Let's see who Craig Donnelly likes. Here's more with Craig.
Hi, our pick for next week will be on Monday's card in the 9th race, the Power by Far Stakes, which, by the way, a horse I bred named Ann Smart Dancer won 13 years ago. My top pick for the Power by Far is number 10, Don't Look Back at All. So I'm not going to turn around because it said her name is Don't Look Back at All. She's been tremendous. The last time she shipped here, she won on the main track, the only time she's been here. Since then, they've switched her back to the turf. She's run 5 consecutive big turf sprints, never worse than second. This is her 3rd start off the layoff after winning a stake in New York. And what I like about her, she's breaking from the outside. She can have a nice, clear outside stalking trip in a bulky field going 5 furlongs on the turf. And Arad Ortiz, one of the top riders in the United States, is aboard. A lot of pluses. Look for Don't Look Back at All to win the Power by Far on Monday.
Thanks, Craig. Well, we'll see who gets the win. But we did give out our scholarships to the Granny Fund recipients. This is for the fall semester this year, and they were really thrilled and really good that PTA charities can support these guys and furthering their education.
Love that picture in a winner's circle of all the recipients. Very cool.
Well, that wraps it up for this time, but make sure you get out here. We are racing. Post time still 12:40. We're going to have a great day here Monday. We look forward to see you, and thanks for watching us on Let's Go Racing.
And they're off. Skippy Longstocking has early speed. We the people from in between horses. Taba's got the lead now. It's Taba in the center of the racetrack, but Taba is drawing away, and Taba with Mike Smith, they win the Bet Parx Pennsylvania Derby.